Hey, what's up? It's Jared with Ditch Auto, and I'm here with the A6400s from Sony. I've got two of them here with two different solutions for adding a microphone to the side. Now, there's been a lot of accessories coming out for this device because the A6400 has the fully pop-up screen for vlog-style video, and so a lot of people were complaining about the hot shoe putting a microphone there and having it blocked. And so there's been a lot of solutions coming out, and I think I found probably one of the best ones. But depending on your use case and exactly how you want that to work, there's two different options that I've got for you. So I'm going to start out with the more kind of common one, which is adding a cage around the device. Now, this company, URig, and there's a lot of these companies popping up. Most of these cages and accessories are made in China, but they're high quality and they feel really good. I've had cages from Small Rig, from Tilta, countless others over the years, and so far I'm really digging this one from URig, essentially because this cage has a contoured side to it, which most of them don't have. Most of them, when you put the cage on and you want to go ahead and hold the camera, normally it just doesn't feel good, but they actually contoured it here, making it a little bit more comfortable to leave the cage on all the time. Now, on top of that, the cage is extremely low profile. It has access for your battery door and everything, a couple of additional quarter 20s and a 3/8 or whatever it is here. It has some options on the sides, maybe for additional accessories and stuff like that. You can add a handle on here. You can add a handle on top. There's a lot of room for expansion on this particular cage. The only thing I didn't like per se was on other cages, I've seen another contact point here with the screw kind of going through your camera strap hole, which normally I thought was a good idea, but this one seems to have a gap there, and if you tighten it down, it actually like pulls the camera, and it just doesn't seem to be that great of an option. I can still move the camera inside of there. It's not a deal breaker at all because some of these cages don't even have that in the first place, so it's definitely not a deal breaker. I just thought it was a little weird. But essentially this cage here, and I'm going to link to this cage and the other accessory down in the description below so you can check them out. This cage is under $40, extremely inexpensive, and I think a must-have. Even if I didn't necessarily need to put a microphone on my camera, I might use it just for added protection on my camera, just because it's a nice kind of exoskeleton, I guess you could say, for my camera. So not bad at all, especially for the price. But this is the one that caught my eye. This also from URig, and I've got just my little Rode mic here with the fuzzy on it. I guess I don't necessarily need that in most situations, and it kind of adds a lot to the setup here. So we'll just go ahead and pull that off for now. But this is just essentially a base and a side rail on the side of the camera, very minimal. All it adds to the bottom of the camera is a little bit of thickness, which might be good for those of you that maybe have a bigger hand like me and want a little bit more camera to hold on to. I kind of like that. I like that the bottom is well protected. I also have the Arcaswiss type of mount here, so I can slide this right into a Arcaswiss receptacle, which I have outfitted on most of my stuff because it's just super easy to get in and out. Most of my stuff is like Manfrotto, and I use that standard Manfrotto plate that most of us use, but it's huge, and I just don't like having those on my camera, so I mount a Arcaswiss to that, and then I can just easily get in and out. It also has Arcaswiss on the side as well, which is awesome, because maybe you don't want to use a microphone. Maybe you just want to be able to tripod mount your camera in a portrait mode, or tripod mount your camera in a landscape mode very easily. Essentially, this is nothing new. A lot of camera manufacturers have made L brackets before, but this is an L bracket that also has a cold shoe mount and some quarter 20s all over it for added functionality. So a little microphone like this can easily slide right in, and you just tighten it down and then plug in your microphone jack into the port, and you're good to go because port access is all right there still. The only thing you kind of lose, just essentially because of the big tightening wheel here, is it's going to be a little hard to get to your micro USB port if you have the microphone in here. However, if you got a little angle adapter, you could probably get that in there and still get power to it. But most of the time, you're not going to be trying to plug into the USB while at the same time using this cold shoe, so it's not that big of a deal at all. This side plate here is also removable if you wanted to. You just use the included tool to remove it, and then you just have a base plate down at the bottom. The crazy thing is that this is less than $20 on Amazon. Amazing, and I think it's something that pretty much everybody really needs for their a6400. Even if you're not a vlogger, maybe you don't really care about vlogging, but you do shoot some video, it gives you a couple of additional access points. It gives you some more protection. The battery door is fully accessible here, plenty of room for that. And this L bracket just gives you a ton of additional functionality for your a6400 without really getting in the way and adding too much weight. I mean, the only reason this camera weighs a lot right now is because I have this 85mm G Master lens on it, which is what I was shooting with over the weekend. But I really like these cages or these accessories here. You know, I've never heard of URig before. There are a lot of new companies coming out with all of these different accessories, but I think that as all of them try to differentiate themselves from each other, they're coming out with new little things that are super useful. For me, I really like this L bracket here that has the Arcaswiss on both sides, that has the cold shoe mount here. It leaves the top and right side of my camera free, so I don't have any additional stuff going over the top. For example, with most of these cages, they are going over the top of the camera. They're going over your mode dial and over the top of the rotating switch up here that most of us use for our aperture adjustment, which is not that big of a deal. It does definitely stay out of the way, but if you're wanting to use your camera in photography mode here, it does add a little bit to you know, the typical ergonomics of the camera. I don't think it's that big of a deal. These cages are so extremely lightweight. You're not even really going to notice that they're there. So I'll link to these down in the description below. They're extremely inexpensive. The prices came down so much on these. So for any of you that are thinking about doing vlogging with your camera, I've seen plates that you put into the hot shoe, and it mounts into the hot shoe, and it just adds like a little piece out to the side. I don't like that, because if that thing caught, if it grabbed, it would rip at your hot shoe, maybe hurt it or damage it. There's a lot that hot shoe can do depending on what you plug into it. I just don't like putting anything in the hot shoe if I don't have to, which is why I really like this L bracket style. And of course, I've been putting cages on my a6400, a65, a63, all of my cameras. Whenever I'm shooting video and I need to attach stuff, I'm using cages just to protect the cameras and make sure that I'm not wearing out any of the ports or anything on the camera that I don't want to put added stress onto. So I'll link to those products down in the description below. If you have any questions about them, please ask. I'll do my best to answer them. But you just really can't go wrong with the pricing that they're offering. It is the cheapest that I found so far, and the quality of the product is great. It's made out of aluminum. They're machined well, threaded holes. Everything is nice looking, and I think that you're really going to like these cages from URig. So check them out and let me know what you think. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel here on Ditch Auto, as our goal is to find solutions to real world problems, to help educate and just figure things out in a world where there's bajillions of options, but not everything is the best option. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you back here soon on Ditch Auto.